Welcome to Local Sensational Talk with Local Tradition over here. You know what? It's very hard to help someone who is living in denial. From the outside looking in, you can see everything that is going on and you're trying to help. You're trying to speak up to shine a light on the situation to help the person understand. But instead of hearing you, they shut you out and sometimes they even turn on you. This happen a lot in relationship, and it could be with your family, your boyfriend, your husband. As much as you try to be there to support and to help, when someone isn't ready to face the truth, they would choose the situation over you. They would distance themselves away from you or even blame you, even when your intentions are very genuine. I have experienced this myself. A very good friend of mine was in a relationship where her partner was cheating on her. He had a wife. And she already had 2 children for him. One day she finally decided to leave that relationship and I supported her. I was there in every way. I gave her a place to stay. I brought her into my home and I thought I was doing the right thing. But it backfired. He showed up here, caused the scene, and somehow I became the enemy. Listen, that's the reality. Sometimes when people aren't ready to face the truth, they will protect the very thing that is hurting them. Even if it means losing someone who is very close, someone who is trying to help, as myself. And it could be a family member, a friend, anyone that is trying to help. Listen to the situation. It was a girl that I've met. We became good friends. She would always cry to me, call me and complain about the situation. She was being abused by him in ways that, oh my gosh, was very bad. So one day she told me that she found out that he's married and has another life. As a friend, I never take it up on my account to tell her to leave her boyfriend, take the children and walk out on him. No. Because I've been in similar situation and I don't want anybody to tell me to leave my situation. I would make my decision myself when the time is right. That was not my place. I was there to support. I was just a shoulder to cry on and a good listener to listen. She needs somebody to talk to and I was that person. She needed a shoulder to cry on. My shoulder was available. One day she called me and she decided to walk out of the relationship and I was so happy. I'm not gonna lie, I was happy when she called me to tell me that she's ready to leave. I said, well, it took you a long time. I said, I don't know, I never was gonna tell you, but I was wondering when you were going to realize that this is not good for you, this is not good for the kids. I was so happy, I was ready to help her. So I asked her, I said, what you going to do? Where you going to go? Like, first place, you have to get somewhere to go. She don't know what to do. She don't know where to go. She don't have a place to go. So I said, okay, you can come at my place. It was a temporary situation. I said, you can come at my place and stay however long you want to stay until you figure things out, until we figure things out. She didn't hesitate because we were good like that. She explained to me what she's doing, what she's going to do, what she wants me to do. And I said, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to help in every way. At that time, I had a little car, a little Honda Accord. She said, I want you to help me move. I said, okay, fine. This is the time he's going to be going to work. I need you to come at this time, because I don't want to pack things while he's here because I don't want him to know. So I said, okay, that's smart. I went to work for the whole day. And the night, I went over there and I helped her pack, clean out the whole apartment. She got a little storage to store some of her things because everything couldn't come at my place. So I went there, I helped her pack, box it, we clean the whole apartment, clean it clean. I am alone going to the storage and unpack because she's at the house with the kids packing and cleaning up. And I am jogging this thing back and forth with the car. I made so many trips that night with that little car. I'm on top there tying things down and parking the car. I worked that night. I knew the whole time we were in that apartment parking, I was scared. I was scared because I'm saying to myself, Lord, what if this gentleman decide to come back from work early? What if something happened and he decide to come back at home? We were so scared. Anyways, I took this young lady, bring her at my place. She was here for a little while. I think it was more than a month. Couple days after she moved here, I heard a bang on my door and we figured out it was him. Apparently, he figured out she was here. It wasn't hard for him to figure it out anyways because we were very close and he knows anywhere she would go, it would probably be by me. So I guess the first place he would check was me. So banging down my windows, banging down the door. We were in here quiet, not answering. I was so scared. And then he's like, I know she's in there. I know she's in there. Put her out. And he was calling my name and calling her name and put her out. I know she's in there. And he was saying so much things. I had to scare him away. I could have called the cops. I could have called the police, but I did not, because I'm thinking that's her children's dad, and I don't know if this woman is going to get back with this man. I am not naive. Things like that happen, right? I threatened him though. I did threaten him. I said, if you don't leave, I will call the police. And that's how I get him to leave. Anyway, she stayed here for about a month or two, and she left and went back to his place. I didn't stop her. While she was here, we were talking about ways that she can get help, that she can move places that I guess she didn't want to go. So she chose to go back into the situation. She never talked to me again. This lady never talked to me again. A family member of mine met her, telling her I went and tell somebody her business. That's the reason she's not talking to me anymore. I honestly believe she just wanted to go back to her man, and she just made up a story. It was a business that was out there. That was not the best part. She lied to me. I found out that she allowed him to go and marry this other white girl so he could get his papers, and then he would divorce that white girl, break up with her, and then come back and marry to her so she could get her papers. But it backfired on her. He ended up leaving her for that white girl. So that was the true situation. Sometimes when people want to get their way, they lie, they scheme, they do all kinds of things. But at the end of the day, as old people say, what happened in the dark always comes out in the light. And I found out the truth. She was lying to me. She knew everything. It was a setup. Maybe at some point she figured out it wasn't working out for her because he was spending more time with that woman because he's married. And that woman did not know he had another woman with children. So it was that kind of situation. This was hideous. Being a woman myself who have been through similar situation, I thought I was helping. I understand what she was going through. That is why I placed myself in the situation to help her, not knowing I was putting myself and my children's life at stake. At the end of the day, that will never stop me from helping another woman. It's just that I learned my lesson. I don't think I will invite anyone or take in anyone in my home, but I would different ways for them to get help.